He was walking, but reluctantly, because he didn't know what was going to happen to him.
Open the door, please. So please take our message to the government.
Few passengers are aware of the murder. Neither are the pilots.
The first contact we were allowed with the cabin was when a stewardess was allowed into the cockpit to see if we wanted anything. I said, we'd like a glass of water, because it was hard to swallow, as you can imagine. Our throats were very dry. Just then, she whispered to me, they've already killed a passenger. I was dumbfounded because we had no idea. We'd heard nothing.
The passengers are growing more concerned about what's going on outside. There are signs that the Algerian Special Forces are preparing for an armed assault on the plane.
The biggest worry that we all had was that the ninjas, the Algerian Special Forces, would attack the plane. Things were going on inside the plane, sure, but anything that would come from the outside would upset things, and that scared us.
As French Interior Minister at the time, Charles Pasqua knows exactly how the ninjas operate.
They were trained by us. We were taking a considerable risk by letting this plane stay in Algiers, because we knew that although the Algerian forces were perfectly capable of ending the siege, it would have ended in a bloodbath.
The Algerian military maintained their hard line, so the terrorists are about to raise the stakes again. Another passenger must die.
When they came for the second passenger, we knew things were going wrong. This passenger, he was different. He was Vietnamese, a diplomat. He was the real foreigner on this plane. This passenger was not cowed by their terror, and that must have bothered them.
The Vietnamese diplomat believes that, as an outsider, he is being released.
The stewardess went back to the cabin and came back with a bottle of water and some glasses. She served us and whispered, it's not one now, it's two. Immediately, I realized that we had really hit the jackpot.
The behavior of the killer in the group is becoming increasingly bizarre.
The tallest one, the killer, when we passed each other on the plane, he would take me by the neck and kiss me on the forehead. And later on, the meaning of this was more or less confirmed to me. People told me that this could be seen as the kiss of death.
Finally, Morin plucks up enough courage to voice his fears.
Can I say something? I want to ask you a favor. If you decide to kill me, I want you to promise me. I don't want to be killed by a bullet in the back, because when I die, I want to be able to see your face.
What are you afraid of?
Well, it's impossible not to be afraid with what's going on the plane.
You don't need to worry. Because if I kill you, you will be a martyr. You will go straight to paradise.
I can tell you that it didn't make me feel any better.
In Algiers, it's stalemate. Neither side is giving way. In Paris, the French leaders are frustrated. They believe their own special forces could bring the hijacking to a safe end, but the Algerians refuse to let foreign troops in to sort out an Algerian problem.
I asked the Algerian authorities extremely forcefully and urgently to let the plane take off, because I considered that it was a French plane belonging to Air France, which, although it had on board a majority of Algerians, had dozens of French there too. So it was for us to solve the problem.
Night falls. Flight 8969 is pinned down by spotlights. The passengers have now been held hostage for 7 hours. Initial panic has given way to tense calm. Few realize that 2 passengers have already been murdered, and the crew is working hard to defuse the situation.
Like here, for instance, it's the APU, Auxiliary Power Unit.
The role of a crew in these conditions is to keep things calm, to earn trust, to keep things going, which is very important. At the start of a hostage-taking, it's always violent. You have to buy time, to calm people, to show what you're like, to find out who they are, and so on. And then try to gain their trust.
There was the conversion to Islam of 2 stewardesses, of whom I was one. It was a request from the terrorists. I don't have any disrespect for believers, but if it could help calm the terrorists down, then I didn't have any problem faking a conversion.
It's Christmas morning. During the night, the French government has decided to send its special forces to the island of Majorca, as close to Algeria as possible, without being accused of interfering. Colonel Denis Favier was then a major in charge of the French counter-terrorist unit, the GIGN. Since the hijacking, there are fears terrorists have put a price on his head, and he doesn't want his face to be seen.
The decision was taken to send GIGN to Majorca. An Air France aircraft was put at our disposal, identical in every respect to the hijacked aircraft, as well as an experienced crew who knew the technical side, all the details of the plane.
En route to Majorca, Major Favier's men have familiarized themselves with every detail of the A300 Airbus in the expectation that they will get the chance to attack the plane. However, the Algerian government has another trick up its sleeve. They have managed to identify the terrorist leader, Yahya, and bring his mother to the microphone to try to weaken her son's resolve.
Ma! Ma! I love you, but I love God more!
The Algerian government's tactic misfires. It sends Yahya into a boiling rage.
They went and got my mother. Can you imagine that? My mother! They went and dragged my mother over here! How many French are back there?
1 man and woman.
Go get the man. What do they think they're playing at? What do they think they're doing?
He was furious. He had no intention of changing his mind. Even the love of his mother, even his mother couldn't do anything.
Until now, the terrorists haven't targeted any French citizens, but their time has come. 2 staff members of the French embassy are on board, a secretary and a young chef.
Okay, now we will teach you how to play games with us. Are you listening to me? You tell them that if they don't let the plane take off, we will kill every single passenger one by one. Tell them.
My name is Yannick Beignet. I work at the embassy. They're threatening to kill us
if you do nothing,